Okay, Algebra 8, we are going to be doing section 1-9, solving equations by multiplying or dividing. So recently, we just did solving with adding and subtracting. So moving over here, we are going to work on what to do if we are dealing with multiplication or division. You still are going to do the opposite operation. So maybe we should put a little note in there. Use the opposite operation to get the variable alone. Okay, so what happens here is to get x by itself, we need to make this not add or subtract to get 0, but we basically need this to equal 1. So what would you divide 8 by to get to 1? And the answer is 8. So again, I like to have both sides of my equation.
Sorry for the interruption, but can I get all 7th graders who have not had their pictures taken report to Robertson? All 7th graders. Also, any faculty that have not had their picture taken and have a free moment now can also come down. Thank you.
So here, x is being multiplied by 8. So anytime multiplication is happening, we're going to use division to get rid of it. So 8 divided by 8 cancels. 32 divided by 8 gives us 4. And that's your answer. Okay? The reason why this works is because 8 divided by 8 equals 1. And if we have 1x, that really just equals x. And so that's how it works to get that variable alone. Okay, our next one, we have a -7. So the thing here is this is being multiplied by a -7. You need to divide by a -7. Okay, and so this is y equals, and if you have 91 divided by 7, you might need to do a little, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, so I just do a little long division over here. 7 goes into 9 one time, and it goes into 21 3 times. So that means a negative divided by a negative gives me a positive 13. Okay, the next one, x is being multiplied by 6, so you're going to divide by 6 on both sides. This cancels. X equals 48 divided by 6 is 8. There wasn't any negatives there. And the last one here, -9 times y, so I'm going to divide by a -9. Y equals positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. 45 divided by 9 is 5. And that's how you do it. Now to check it, you would just simply put the number back in. 8 times 4 gives you 32. Okay. So now this is what division looks like. It's rare that you'll see it written like h divided by -3 equals 6. You'll most likely see it in a fraction form. This means h divided by a -3. So to undo division, you have to do the opposite, which is multiplication. So again, let's throw those dividers in there. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So you're going to multiply by a -3. This turn, these ones cancel. H equals 6 times a -3 is a -18. Okay. The next one, we have b divided by 4. So you're going to multiply by 4. b equals -20. Negative times a positive is a negative. And the other one doesn't matter, even if it's on the other side. A divided by a -20, you're going to times it by a -20. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. This cancels. We get A equals -20 times 7 is, you can just multiply the 2 and the 7, so that gives you 14, and then add that 0. Okay, just a couple examples here. Tony's band needs money to go to a national competition. So far, band members have raised $720, which is 1/3 of what they need. What is the total amount needed? So I'm going to kind of write this out. 1/3 of what they need equals 720. 1/3 of what the total equals 720. That's all they have. So there is a trick to get rid of a fraction, and that trick is to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reason why we multiply by the reciprocal is because to get this to equal 1, we would multiply like this. Okay, I'll just do this off to the side. 3 over 1 times 1 over 3 equals 3 over 3, which is that 1 that we're trying to look for. So these cancel out here. Oh, I guess I should write this. This like would be your variable n. So then your equation would come down and you would have n equals, I have to do 720 times 3, 0, 6. So they need $2,160. We're going to do just a couple two-step equations. You're going to mix things up here. So I always say that you have to move whoever's furthest away from the variable. So you want to locate that variable right here. And on this side of the equation, we have to move the 2 and the 1. On J, we have to move the 3 and the 2. So the first thing that we're going to do is subtract the 1. So I get 2x equals -7 minus 1 is a -8. And then it's just like your division problem. So you're going to divide by 2, x equals a -4. And then to check, we could just put it back in. So 2 times -4 is -8, plus 1 equals -7. -8 plus 1 is -7. So we did it correctly. And the next one, I would move the 2 first. 14 minus 2 is 12. Then my next step would be to get the x alone by dividing by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and that's how you approach those problems. So you do have, I think you've got 3 of those on your worksheet. So just remember to do the opposite operation to get the variable alone. And if you have more than one operation, you have to undo both of them. Let me know if you have any questions.